Hi friends, welcome to our channel. So in this video I am going to talk about reported speech. Okay, so what does it mean? Reported speech means when somebody says something, we report something. That means we tell others what somebody said. So when we say something what others said, there are two different things. We can say the direct words, that means exact words of the speaker without changing anything, or you can say the summary of what the speaker said. Okay, so here, so reported speech means, so it has another name called direct and indirect speech. Let's look at the examples on the screen. There are three examples. Study the sentences written below. Look at it. He says, I am unwell. He will say, I am unwell. He said, I am unwell. Okay. All three sentences written above are the examples of direct, and in the direct speech we have two parts, reporting speech and the reported speech. In the above three sentences, he says, he will say, or he said. You look at these pods. For example, see, he says, he will say, he said. These are the verbs. So there are other verbs also. So these are called a reporting speech. First, look at this. This is a reporting verb. This is a reporting verb. Reporting verb. So this is a reported verb. Okay, whatever the verb available in the inverted commas is called reported verb. Okay, so let's see. Just remember reporting verb and reported verb. So when we quote speaker's actual words, this is called direct speech. So we may report what he said without quoting his exact words. This is called indirect or reported speech. The first three sentences written above are the examples of the direct speech. We may change them to indirect speech without changing their meaning as done below. Let's look at the examples given here. Look at the examples. See, for example, the teacher said, look at the example on the screen. The teacher said, the sun rises in the east. Okay, this is indirect speech. How this indirect speech is changed? The teacher said that. The teacher said that, that is added, and inverted commas whatever available here, so they are removed. The sun rises in the east. Why? The reason is the tense of the reported verb is changed to its corresponding past except in cases where reported speech talks of universal truths or habitual action. This is a universal truth, so we are not changing it. Okay, so since it is a universal truth, we are not changing the verb. So that's why the sun rises in the east. And other one is, if the reporting verb is in the present tense or the future tense, the tense of the reported verb will not be changed. Look at this example. So first example and second example. These both are in present and future tense. So here also they are not going to change. So this exception you have to remember. Now let's see. So there are generally they'll become past tense. Now, so the words, how these words which are indicating nearness will indicate distance. So remember these so that you can answer these well. So here, so there, tomorrow, the next day, the following day, this, that, Yesterday, how the yesterday will be changed? The previous day, the day before, these, those, the next week, the following week, today, that day, then, now, then, tonight, that night. Okay, so there are some words. See how these tenses will change, the verb forms, how these verb forms will change. So remember this, whenever the reporting verb is past tense, the reporting verb is past tense, so reported verb also will become past tense. So when we change it, see in the indirect speech, for example, if there is, it will become was. Am also will become was. Can, could, will, would, are, were, shall, should, may, might. For example, see, is sleeping will become was sleeping. Are sleeping will become was sleeping. Have killed, has killed will become had killed, past tense. Was laughing, were laughing, had been laughing. Did will become had done. So when you look at the examples, you will understand so how these are used. Let's look at some examples first. See, look at the direct speech, indirect speech. I said, my mother cooks well. I said, my mother cooks well. So, reported speech, reporting verb. So, what is the reporting verb? This said is reporting verb. This is in past tense. So, now how this thing will change? Look here. I said that my mother cooked well. Okay, since reporting verb said is past tense, so here cooks will become cooked. I said that my mother cooked well. In the same way, other sentences also will change. Just look at them carefully. She said, I am reading a novel. How do you change it? Answer it. Answer on a paper and then look at the answer. See, I am showing the answer. Just see and check your answers. She said that she was reading a novel then. So what are the changes have taken place? Look here. Am reading. I also here. I become she. I become she. So I am zooming it. Carefully watch. Try to understand it. What are the changes have taken place here? I become she. Why I become she? She said she is a look at the gender. So that's why I refers she. So that's why we are keeping she. She said that she was reading. So what are the other changes? Was. So instead of am, so there is was. Why? Because it's present tense. It's a reporting verb in past tense. So we are changing into past tense. So she was reading a novel. Okay, novel. It's okay. Now what is the other change? Now become then. Okay, I gave you a list of words which indicate nearness. So let's first we'll go back to those words. See, these things you have to remember. When there is a word, so here it will become there, tomorrow, the next day, this, that, yesterday, the previous day or the day before, these, those, the next week, the following week, today, the day, now, then. Okay, so now this is now, so it become then, tonight, that night. Okay, so remember them. So we looked at two examples and look at the third example also. Third example. What is the third example? He said, I killed an ant. He said, I killed an ant. So you write the answer and look at this. What are the changes taken place? I become he because there is a he. So he said that he had killed an ant. We said they have done their job. Next example, we said they have done their job. Now look at the changes. We said that they had done their job, because here they is a different one, we is a different one, so we are not changing they. Let's look at some more examples. She said, we were all laughing uncontrollably. She said that they had been all laughing uncontrollably. So it is a past tense, past continuous tense. This past continuous tense has become past perfect tense. Okay, if you don't know what is past perfect tense, you go back to my channel and watch the previous videos. So he said, I can do it. In the beginning I told you can will become could. So he said that okay, he could do it. Next one, she said to me, you may need help. See, look at the examples here. So when there is a said to, so you have to change this said to as told. She said to me, you may need help. So the answer is, she told me that I might need help. Why I? Okay, so here, so me refers about the person who is listening. So it refers I. It tells you about me will become I. He said she will do this task quickly. He said she will do this task quickly. Look at the answer. He said that she would do the task quickly. Okay, look at some more examples. I hope you understand. He said to me. So I told you, when there is a said to, you have to use it as told. Okay. He said to me, I have often told you not to play with fire. So he reminded here. Okay. Here he said to me. So you can say he told me also. And another phrase we are using here, reminded. He reminded me that he had often told me not to play with fire. Next, you have all done very badly, remarked the teacher. Okay, here the remarked is used. The teacher remarked that they had all done very badly. The teacher promised. So here the promise. So you will come before school tomorrow. I will explain you. Tomorrow will be changed, right? Tomorrow, how this tomorrow is changed next day. The teacher promised that he would explain it. They would come before school the next day. Okay, let's see some more examples. The prince said, it gives me great pleasure to be here this evening. The prince said, it gives. See how this is changed. Look at the answer. The prince said that it gave him great pleasure to be there that evening. This evening become that evening. He said, I shall go as soon as it is possible. He said that he would go as soon as it was possible. So shall become would, because he is the subject. So should or would, you can use it. He said, I do not wish to see any of you go away. He said that he did not wish to see any of them and ordered them to go away. Okay, so next, questions are interrogative sentences. Generally, look at the screen, you can understand there are three types of questions. First one, yes or no questions. Second one, double H questions. And the third one is tag questions or tail questions or question tags. Okay, there are three types of questions. So we use only first two. So yes or no questions and double H questions in this context. So look at those questions. See how when there are yes or no questions and double H questions, how these are going to be changed. So when there is yes or no question, so that yes or no question needs if or whether. Remember this. You need to add a word if or whether, which act as conjunction to join reporting speech and reported speech, whereas WH questions need nothing as if they themselves act as conjunctions. But in WH questions, nothing to change, just the question word will be a conjunctions. Here, look at the example given here. He said to me, are you a student? Okay. So, this is yes or no question. He asked me if I was a student or whether I was a student. Right. So, next, if there is WH question, he said to me, what are you doing? He said to me, what are you doing? So, can be changed to the indirect speech. He asked me what I was doing. Okay, change the order. So, question word is already there. So, you make this assertive sentence instead of a question. So, then you can easily change this into indirect speech. Next one. So, there are examples. See, where do you live? Ask the stranger. So, how do you change it? Try to answer it what I told you. So, when there is a question word, so WH questions, nothing to add, but if it is yes or no question, use if or whether. So, where do you live? Ask the stranger. The stranger asked where I lived. Where do you live means the person he was telling, he was asking me, so I have to use I. He said, will you listen to such a man? This is yes or no question. He said, he asked them if they would listen to such a man. He asked if they would listen to such a man. So, will become would, and if also used because this is yes or no question. What do you want? He said to her. He asked her what she wanted. And he said, how is your father? He asked how her father was, or how his father was, because we don't know the gender, whether it's a male person or female person who is being questioned. So we are using his or her. So some more questions finally. So, are you coming home with me? He asked. How do you change it? He asked if she was going home with him. Okay. Which way did she go? Asked the young man. The young man asked which way she had gone. Finally, have you anything to say on behalf of the prisoner? Said the judge finally. The judge finally asked if she had anything to say on behalf of the prisoner. Thank you guys. Thank you for watching. If there are any questions, please post here and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.